Hello everybody. Today we're back on We Deleted You. So we left off at the end of Kyle's trilogy part 1. But now we're at part 2. So here we go.
My hot take is
Oh
I
my
actually
God.
don't hate all ads. I actually kind of like some of them. That's why I love
I don't care.
December 5th,
Your son
2006. I was sitting in my bedroom. I was bored, and yet still in shock after what happened a week ago with eteled.
I kind of forgot what happened. I got to watch my video on part 1 later.
Christmas was coming, and I was tired of playing as eteled in all the games I played. I actually managed to find out about the guest players, but whenever I tried to play as them, they would just reload as eteled. I tried asking my dad for
Was like,
them. They would just reload as eteled.
you really thought you could get rid of me that easily?
I tried asking my dad for a new Wii so I can start over,
No, it's way
but
too
he
expensive.
doesn't acknowledge eteled's existence, and doesn't believe me about the whole fiasco. But anyway, I heard the doorbell ring. I ran to the window and saw my best friend Nathan waiting outside the door.
Okay.
I ran to the door and let him in. "Hey Kyle," he said happily. "Hey," I replied. We talked for a bit as we went upstairs, and just as I thought, he found the Wii. "Whoa, dude, you have a Wii?" Nathan said with excitement. "Why didn't you tell me?" he continued. "Well, Nathan, you see, before I could finish, Nathan grabbed the Wii remote and said, 'It's fine, dude. Let's play,' as he gave me a Wii remote. I reluctantly turned the Wii on, and I took a glance at Nathan's face, and he was clearly very excited. The Wii menu came on screen, and I became nervous when Nathan pointed the Wii remote to the Me channel. "Hey Kyle, is that the Me channel? I heard it's really cool," Nathan asked.
Do it.
Yeah, it's
I know the beats
really
of
cool," I stuttered.
fire, but
Nathan
don't
clicked
do
on the
it.
Me channel, and I tried my best to think up of an excuse to not go on the Me channel. But before I could come up with one, Nathan pressed start. And what was weird was that I expected the dialogue box saying, "We deleted you" to appear, but to my surprise,
yeah.
it actually led us into the Me channel.
I don't like
But when we got into the Me channel,
me.
it was very, very glitchy. Textures were in the wrong places,
Wow.
and the music was very, very low quality. I looked at Nathan, and needless to say, his excitement was replaced by pure confusion. He looked back at me.
Yo, bro, something wrong with
Kyle? Do you know what's happening here?" he asked. Before I could start explaining, I heard a very loud grinding noise. We turned back to the TV and saw eteled standing in the middle of the Me channel. My eyes widened in fear. Eteled just stood there for a while though, just staring at us. Eteled looked at me again. Kyle, what's going on here?" he said as I looked back at him. "I have to close the Me channel," I replied. I pointed the Wii remote at the exit button at the top of the screen,
Yes.
which its textures were all mixed up. Come on, I repeated to myself as I repeatedly clicked on the exit button. But the dialogue box to choose if you wanted to leave wasn't coming up. And at this point, I was starting to panic. So did Nathan. While I was desperately trying to close the Me channel, eteled started speaking.
"Hello, Kyle.
"Kyle, what's going on?" Nathan asked me frightfully. "Just calm down, sit down, and I'll explain it to you later. Just let me handle it, okay?" Nathan sat down on the couch,
Poor Nathan.
and just when he did, eteled spoke out again.
Didn't you know that your me is coming to visit?
What are you talking about? I asked.
But
The man
you
created.
killed him.
He should be here at any moment.
Immediately after eteled said that, my me came. He fell from the top of the screen and landed on the ground of the me channel, and eteled disappeared. I was happy to see my me again, but when he got up, I was shocked. He looked extremely pale, and he was covered in blood and stains, and he was wobbling, as if he was struggling to keep his balance. And I could have sworn that I heard my me whisper, "Help me."
Oh, nah.
I backed away from the
I
screen,
ain't having this.
and Nathan was literally shivering. I made another attempt to close the me channel, and eteled appeared.
Leaving so soon, Kyle? You haven't even got to see me up close yet.
eteled said in a sinister tone. The camera then zoomed in onto my me, and when it was fully zoomed in, I saw my me crying as he was struggling to stand. I felt bad for him. But after a couple seconds, eteled walked on screen with an axe. He walked over to my me and pushed him over. My
It
me
was
fell on
this
the ground and
episode.
cried even more. eteled put
I kind of thought. Well. I was watching a shorter version of this, so I can see how it ended. But I guess it happened quicker than this. Because I
put
thought
his
that
foot on
happened
my me to restrain
in episode 1.
him. "You get away from him!" I yelled. eteled looked at me and said,
Well, I'll get away from him once he's dealt with.
eteled said as he looked back at my me, who was crying and out of breath from squirming. eteled raised his axe and swung it at my me's legs, chopping them off. And while there was no blood, I did see red stains in the areas in which eteled chopped off my me's legs.
No.
But I could still tell that my me was still in intense pain,
Really?
and he was
chopped off
squirming
his
for
balls.
dear life. eteled then raised his axe again and paused for a moment. I looked back at Nathan, and I will never forget the fear I saw on his face. Every inch of fear was visible on Nathan's face. I never saw him so horrified. I eventually told him to go to my room so that he wouldn't have to see anything that would happen next. He nodded his head and ran to my bedroom and shut the door. I turned back to the TV, and eteled swung the axe at my me's neck, decapitating him. And there was still no blood. However, I still did see red stains on my me's neck and head. I was done at this point. I ran to the Wii and repeatedly pressed the power button, but it didn't work. I tried again and again and again
Unplug it.
until I saw the screen go to static. But as time went by, I saw my me's decapitated head slowly fade into the screen. Immediately, I went back to trying to shut off the Wii. But I still couldn't shut off the Wii by using the power button.
Unplug it.
So, I unplugged the Wii. I took the Wii remotes, and cords and ran to my room. I swung the door open and threw the Wii into the closet. I looked at Nathan, who was sitting on my bed and still in shock after everything that has happened today. Is it over? Nathan asked quietly. Yeah.
Well, if you look at this, it's definitely not over.
It's over, I replied while breathing heavily. I think you should go home, Nathan, I continued. Alright. See you later, Nathan replied as he left the room. After Nathan left, I went back to the living room to see the static is still on the TV. But after a couple seconds, the static was replaced with a black background with white text saying, "This is not over."
Okay, that was way
And
too
the
short.
TV turned off.
Okay, this part was way too short. So we're gonna watch the next part. Oh my god! Okay, time for part 3.
The year is 2013,
Oh, this
I've just
takes
turned
place way
14.
after it.
and I'm enjoying playing the Wii U that I got for my birthday. But whenever I hear the word Wii, I think of that me. That me that traumatized my childhood all those years ago. I got a Wii in 2010 with some allowance money, and luckily that me didn't appear on it. I had fun with that Wii, but whenever I picked up the Wii remote, I felt scared. Scared that the me would appear once again. You know which one I'm talking about. Eteled. One day, while in bed watching Netflix on my Wii U,
Wait,
I
you
remembered
can do
that message on the TV screen back in December of 2006. I remember that day vividly. The message was, "This is not over." But it's been 7 years and nothing's happened. As the movie I was watching ended, I asked myself a question that I was surprised I didn't ask myself sooner. Is Eteled sentient? No, he can't be. He's just some stupid AI. But what sick being would program an AI to do what Eteled has done? I turned my head to face my closet, with the old Wii still in there. I never touched it again after what happened all those years ago, so I just sort of left it there. I wanted to know if Eteled was some virus that somehow got into the Wii. I do have a bit of technical knowledge, and I thought I could put the Wii's SD card into my laptop to access the system files. I slowly walked to the closet and carefully picked up the Wii. I took out the SD card and brought out my laptop. I plugged in my USB SD card reader and then put my SD card into it. Here it goes, I whispered as I took a deep breath. After I inserted it, I opened the File Explorer and clicked on the SD card and gained access to the Wii system files. There were files like game data, system memory, and lots more. I clicked on system memory, and one result came up, and it read, eteledmechannel.wad. I really didn't think that I'd be able to find something related to Eteled so quickly. I was kind of hesitant to click on it at first. However, I just remembered that I had a part-time job working for my local grocery store. So if anything happened, I can just save up and buy a new one. I clicked on the file, and the screen went black. It was black for about 10 seconds, and then I was greeted to a simulated Wii menu. It was really messed up though. It was dark and all the music was low quality. And I'd occasionally hear loud screeching noises, and the icons on the Wii menu would occasionally cut to static for about a split second. The hand icon though, which I controlled using my mouse, was just Eteled's face. I just stared at the screen for a while. I wanted to leave, but I also wanted to find out the mystery of this me that traumatized me as a child. So I continued. I clicked on the Me channel and pressed start, and I was taken to the Me channel. It was just a black screen with all the icons on the side, but nothing else. Eteled then appeared on screen.
Oh, you came back.
Yeah, I did, I said.
I always thought that you would eventually come back.
Eteled replied. Why? I questioned.
I need to show you something.
Eteled replied. Okay, I said with confusion. I picked up Eteled and dragged him to the delete icon. I was given the choice to delete Eteled, and I breathed heavily as I chose to delete him. I was taken back to my desktop. I was confused, but then I noticed something was added to my desktop. A file named deleted.mp4. I was nervous. I didn't want to click it, but if I was gonna find this me's origin, I had to continue. I clicked the file and a video opened. It was static for a while, but then it cut to a hallway with hospital beds lined up next to one another. Each bed had a me laying down on it, hooked up to life support machines, and you can clearly hear the beeping sounds of the machines. But most disturbingly, you can hear the moans and cries of the me's laying on the beds. The camera moved through the hallway slowly, and it stopped and turned to one of the beds. A pale me was laying down on it. Then after a while, the me flatlined. The strange thing is that the me's in this video can make different expressions, like being sad or angry. There were also me's who were making expressions that weren't even possible for a me to make. I saw some that were full-blown crying. The screen then cut to static for a while. A long while, actually. Static was on screen for about a minute. Then the screen then cut to Eteled, laying in one of the beds, with life support machines hooked up all over him. I was shocked when I saw this, because Eteled wasn't making his normal creepy expression, but instead he was making a very sad expression, although his eyes and mouth remained the same size as before. But then Eteled looked at the camera, and then spoke out.
Do you see? Do you now see why I don't want to be deleted? I'm trying to warn you, whenever a me gets deleted, they get sent here, where they are doomed, because their ignorant creators deleted them. These life support machines are only here to keep us alive for the remaining time we have. And when they get taken off, we die. However, I am the only me who knows how to recover. I am the only me who knows how to get back to the me channel after being deleted. But I don't know how to stop the pain. So learn your lesson, or I'll make you learn.
After Eteled was done speaking, he ripped off the tubes and wires off him that were connecting him to the life support machines, and got out of his bed. And then he disappeared. The video file was then automatically closed, and I was taken back to my desktop. I was frozen, to say the least. My brain was trying to comprehend what just happened. What was this hallway? And what was Eteled trying to teach me? But I eventually pieced together what was going on in this video. It took me a while, but I believe I found an answer. You see, a me being deleted is basically the equivalent of being diagnosed with a terminal cancer or incurable sickness. So, they are sent to the hallway where they are hooked up to the life support machines to live out the remaining time they have left. And at the end, they get taken off of life support and they die. It is a painful death, but Eteled is the only me in existence who knows how to recover from the sickness and get back to the me channel. But he doesn't know how to stop the pain. That's what he was trying to teach me. He wasn't trying to be scary, but instead trying to teach me a lesson.
Didn't he just say
It's just that violence and aggression is the only way he knows how to do it. In the end, I never found out Eteled's origins. I never knew how he was made or what his motives were. But I think it's best that I never do.
Wait, who's that? Okay. Well. Okay, I think that's a good enough point to end this on. So, bye bye.